Hello, this is Steve.
Hey, Coach Steve Fraser, how you doing? This is Corey from Back Points Network.
So the way I started in wrestling was my junior high coach, Frank Stagg, kept asking me to come out. I was in the 8th grade, and he was my gym teacher at Webb Junior High School in Hazel Park. And he kept asking me to come out for wrestling. And I'm like, yeah, coach, I'll come out. And then I never did. And then finally one day in the hallway, he grabbed me. He's a big guy. Got me in like a sleeper hold, got behind me in a little choke hold, right? Sleeper hold. And he said, Fraser, I want to see you at practice tonight. And I'm like, okay, I'll come. And so I did, and that was the start of my wrestling career. Frank Stagg was a great motivator, great coach, and I loved the sport from day one.
Okay. What year did you win your high school state championship in Michigan?
I won the high school state championship in 1976. I was recruited by probably a handful of schools. University of Michigan and Michigan State were the top 2 schools that I was interested in. And, I remember it's kind of interesting because when I told my counselor at Hazel Park High School that I was thinking of going to the University of Michigan, he kind of said, well, maybe you should be more realistic. That's a pretty big school and a high academic school. And he kind of discouraged me a little bit, thinking that maybe I couldn't make it at that school. Anyways, so that kind of inspired me to go, you know what, I'm gonna show him, And so anyways, it was between those 2 schools. I enjoyed visiting both of those schools. Grady Pinninger was the coach at Michigan State, and Billy Johansson was the coach at Michigan. And I went to both and visited, and when it came down to it, I just loved the idea of going to the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. So that's where I decided to go. But they're both great schools, obviously.
For this one quick segment right here, I want to ask you for one word to describe these wrestlers on the mat from your perspective. This is just purely your perspective. When I say Lee Kemp, what word comes to mind?
Oh, my gosh. Lee Kemp, one word?
One word or one sentence.
I would say stingy. He was a hard person to score on. He didn't necessarily score a lot of points on a lot of his opponents, but he, 3-time world champion, he was outstanding.
Okay. Now, Jeff Blatnick.
Jeff Blatnick, a teammate of mine at the Olympics, very tough, mean wrestler, that overcame, Hodgkin's disease to win his gold medal.
Carl Adams.
Carl Adams, kind of an icon wrestler. Didn't know him real well when I was growing up, but I knew of his record, and he's a well-respected coach and athlete and a great person.
Okay, I got 3 more for you. Kyle Snyder.
Kyle Snyder I saw yesterday in my office, and just Kyle Snyder, the ultimate guy in mental toughness and dedication. It's all about doing the best he can and being proud of his result no matter what. So I love Kyle Snyder. Wonderful, wonderful kid.
Bobby Douglas.
Bobby Douglas, an icon in the sport. World silver medalist, I think, or world Olympic medalist, I forget, world silver or Olympic. But anyways, an icon, still trying to promote the sport. He's a dedicated and wonderful asset to the growth of wrestling in our country. I was kind of known to be kind of a grinder, real physical, in your face. My strengths was probably two things. One, my physical conditioning. I tried to wear all of my opponents out, and then be more physical with them. And then the mental toughness part of the game, which is my favorite part of the game. I'm all about mental toughness, and so that's how I would describe me. My mindset was I wanted to obviously wrestle to the best of my ability. I knew I was going to out-pummel and out-fight all of my opponents. So win, lose, or draw, I wanted to obviously give it my all and make it an exciting match for the crowd that was at the Anaheim Convention Center in California, in Los Angeles, so that they would get their money's worth out of the match. Didn't know for sure if I was going to win or lose all those matches, but I knew I was going to give it everything I had and not leave any bullets in my guns. One of the reasons for 9 gold medals, I mean, we had a great performance. We had our freestyle team and our Greco team were very, very strong. Total was 9 between the two styles. You know, we had a great team. We had the Bannock brothers. We had Randy Lewis. We had, in Greco, Gibson and Martinez and Blatnick and myself, Bruce Baumgartner. Then, of course, what partly helped with the medal count is, it was a boycotted Olympics, so the Russians weren't there. So some of the tougher teams in the world didn't participate. But in a lot of weight classes, the toughest athletes were there. Like my weight class, for example, not bragging, but Frank Anderson was the guy to pick to win the Olympics in my weight class in Greco. He's from Sweden, 3-time world champion. So he was the favorite no matter who was there. And, of course, I felt fortunate enough to beat him and go on and win the gold medal. But that's a lot of reasons for that many medals in that particular, and a home country advantage was huge, wrestling in front of our home country. I know it helped me win my final match against Ilie Mate of Romania. I was losing 1-0 with about a minute to go, and that crowd kicked into gear. USA, or Fraser. And I remember hearing that, and that's brought a surge of energy up through my body. And next thing I knew, I was taking Ilie Mate down, scoring on him, and winning the Olympic Games. So home crowd advantage was a great, great advantage. I never would feel comfortable saying that I could beat someone else. I let my actions do the talking, not my mouth. And so, but let's face it, Kyle Snyder he's amazing. He's awesome. Already Olympic gold medal and world champion. And so he's great, no question about it. But of course, I'd like to think that in my prime, I'd be able to go with anyone like that, especially in my weight class,
That's interesting and very respectable. I appreciate your time, Coach Fraser. All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Have a good night.
Okay, good luck. All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.